Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Wild Feminine Way podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about the channel message that came through, which is burn it down to start anew. And we're going to talk about this Aries New Moon. I thought I had cat hair stuck to my lipstick, but it was my own hair. Okay. I'm probably going to be moving, if you're watching the video, weird because I just painted my nails before this because I wanted to look cute. I'm like obsessed with pink this week. So if you see me being weird, that's why. Weirder than usual. Okay, so I've already pre-pulled the cards. We're using the Black Moon Lilith and the Goddess of Love Tarot, but right now they're telling me to just talk a little bit before I show you the cards. So, burn it down to start anew. I would never use the word anew. That's why I feel like I know it's a channel message. Oh, there's so much big throat chakra stuff moving out right now. I know in myself, I feel like it's moving out through the collective right now. We're having a big purge out. Okay, this is the message. We have to speak our dreams into reality. We know this. But we have to stop giving so many flying fucks about what other people think about us. And about what we think we're supposed to do. Or what the fuck ever. There's so many ways that I could go with that. You get the point. It's time to come from this grounded, embodied place of knowing your fucking worth and not caring, not giving a fuck how creating your desired reality and being in your power looks like to other people, or how it affects other people, or how it triggers other people. This is for me too. I literally, the last couple weeks, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know some of this. I literally have been doing what this title of this video is, burning it down and starting anew, which I've done so many times in business. It's happening right now in every area of my life, though, honestly. Super long story short, I think I'm going to talk, actually, I have an episode planned to talk about quitting social media and the old paradigm, because that is happening, but maybe not in the way that you think it is. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, making huge shifts in my business. I'll talk about that more soon. I've been in a bit of a void space, but also creating something super exciting behind the scenes called Unhinged. Oh, I can't wait to share it. My little inner witchy self is happy, Hecate is happy. She came to me in a dream. What else was I gonna say? This Aries New Moon is also like fucking pushing us out of our fucking comfort zone, out of our fucking head and into our heart. Like, what the fuck do you actually fucking want? I was having like an emotional breakdown this week. It's so weird. I felt like Monday I went to the beach. I was on a new timeline. Tuesday I had errands to do. It was a super weird day. Wednesday, magical. Thursday, yesterday, fucked. So I got this intuitive feeling to go visit one of my witchy friends who has an apothecary shop here locally and just talk to her about what's going on. I was like experiencing body pains and I was like looking up doctors to make an appointment and all kinds of stuff. And I pulled cards on it and I was just feeling this intensity, this heaviness in my heart and my throat. Areas, we'll just say related to those chakras because it was multiple different areas. And what I just said to you is literally what my friend said to me, like that my guides were giving her the message, like, what the fuck do you want, Jess? Because I keep breaking down, like, and not admitting to myself how unhappy I am living in my hometown right now. I came back here last year from San Diego because I couldn't find a job out there, and that's a whole other story. I've talked about that so many times. That's a story for another day. But I was basically like forced to come back here, and I've been through so much shit that I just like have lost some of my confidence in things happening, even though I've manifested so much magic and miracles and abundance over the years. I'm kind of like going all over the place, but there's a point to it all. I was like so surrendered with like, whatever, I'm meant to be in my hometown, I'm doing ancestral healing, like there's a reason, which there is a reason for everything. But I was almost to the point where I was just like too surrendered, where it's like, well, this is what it is. And I realized after talking to my friend yesterday, I'm really happy within myself. I'm struggling with some body stuff right now, just to keep it real, which has been a thing for me off and on my whole life. But I feel really good within who I am and myself and like the rituals, the routines, the things that I've created in my life, my tribe, things like that. So I think I haven't been admitting to myself how fucking unhappy I am because I feel so happy within all of these other things. And I have this fear, even though I've lived all over the world, I have a fear of moving far away again because last year, well, 2024, when I sold my fucking Jeep to move to California, which I've lived there multiple times, things didn't work out. So there's this fear of leaving again. But I've had this fucking dream to work in retreats in Costa Rica and live in some kind of community for years. And I didn't even plan on telling this whole story, but maybe this is for a reason. Maybe someone needs to hear it. And it's like I'm so fucking clear on this dream. This has been my dream for the last few years. And I told my friend this yesterday, and it just lit this fire under my ass. And last night, I actually was like Googling Costa Rica retreat jobs, which I've done 8,000 times. And I've been telling my mom off and on for the last couple of years that I would love to find a place where I can live in like a work trade type thing, where you work at a retreat center and you get to live there and your expenses are covered. But, you know, you work for the retreat center, you live in community, and you get to attend, like, ecstatic dance and yoga and cacao and ceremonies and all these cool things. Out of all the fucking times I've ever Googled, I guess someone really needs to hear the story today. I finally found a place last night. And that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the place, but that really, I'm getting chills. That was, like, such a God wink for me, because it felt like it's fucking time. And I feel like this is a message for someone else, too, that it's fucking time. It's fucking time to stop being afraid. Stop letting like the 3D reality or what's happened to you in the past or hasn't happened weigh you fucking down. Magic and miracles are in the air with this Aries New Moon. And whatever is coming up for you right now, it's for a divine reason. So they're telling me to go to the cards right now. One thing really quick before that, actually. I was doing this journaling exercise the other day where I was writing out like all my subconscious beliefs, like what I believe about money, success, and like what I'm afraid of and what I feel like I'm going to lose. Like, I've taught that in my manifestation courses for years. Highly recommend doing it. It helped me realize this big block yesterday that also came up in the conversation with my friend of something else that I'm afraid of. I've had this fear of being seen for years and years and years, which is funny because of how many people follow me on Instagram, and I built this fucking online business the last 14 years where I'm very much seen. But I still have fears that I'm moving through, specifically with the body image stuff, like I mentioned, because I've had a very stressful last couple years, and I don't feel like I've gained a lot of weight, but I don't necessarily feel the best in my body, no matter how much movement and healthy eating I do. It's just, my body was in survival mode, and that's what it is. And this is connecting to what I'm saying about the fear of being seen. So it's like, I want love so much, but like having sex and being naked, like, I haven't done that in a couple years. That sounds kind of fucking scary. Same thing with like moving. Like, I don't feel like I have a ton of cute clothes right now, and I'm like thinking about being at this retreat center with people doing yoga that are fitter than me and all this stuff, and it just brings up all this stuff. Same thing with my business. Like, I mean, I feel like I look cute on this video right now, but in real life I don't feel that cute right now, if I'm being honest. Like, I just feel heavy, and like I said, but I mean, that's all the emotions I've been feeling. So anyways, I didn't plan on talking about that either, but I had paused the video to take a sip of water, and my guides were like, share that before the reading. So really think about, what is it that you're afraid of? And I remember last year at the end of the year, this guy that I met that was like dream man essentially, that didn't last because we wanted different things for future, talked about that. That happened because I finally was so over protecting myself for the fear of being fucking seen that I was like, I don't fucking care anymore. I'm done trying to wait to be perfect until I get this thing. And that's how I feel about moving. That's how I feel about it all. Like, I'm fucking done. So what in your life do you need to burn down so that you can start anew? What fears do you need to move through? I feel like that's a whole other topic for a whole other video. I feel like maybe we need to talk about getting past the fear of being seen in the unhinged offering I'm working on. I'm going to add that to the list right now. And it's helpful, this came to me when I paused, to look at like the root cause of this thing. So like, I feel like this fear of being seen / abandonment / rejection all goes together for me personally, because I was bullied in high school, and then every time I spoke my truth when I was younger, because I'm a fucking Leo and I have lots of fire in my chart and I just don't give a fuck most of the time, I would speak up to my dad, who was also a Leo, and he did not like that and he would ignore me. That usually doesn't happen anymore now that I'm in my 30s and a grown adult. I mean, well, he was the one ignoring me. Anyways, that doesn't matter. But that's like what's created. You know what I'm trying to say. I feel like maybe I'm not meant to talk more about that now. But really, like, look at what that is for you, and then ask yourself, is this actually true? Like, it's safe. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about in Unhinged, which is all about, like, bracing your wild woman, authenticity, and breaking up with the fucking rules, so much more. I just lost it. oh, how to actually move past this shit. These blocks, these fears. A big part of it is creating safety. So let's go into the reading. I was only going to pull like 2 cards from the Black Moon Lilith. Hang on, let me pause this again because I feel like I'm getting a message. Okay, I feel like the invitation that I'm getting for you is to do this journaling for this new moon in Aries. It feels very important. I feel like there's something in your subconscious that you're not seeing clearly. And maybe you need to talk to a friend. Maybe you need to get a reading, coaching session, whatever it is. I feel like my friend kind of helped me through that yesterday. Myself. It feels very important. It feels like I'm seeing like this veil over your eyes. Like you feel like you can't even barely see my pink nail polish. It's like you feel like you can't see the way forward, but you're putting the veil over the eyes yourself. And it's so you can protect yourself. We do this. Like these are there's a word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it. This is our like biological responses or whatever the fuck the word I'm looking for is. Yeah. And then do an embodiment practice around that with your inner child. See where that is in your body that's coming up for you. And see how you can like move it out of you. Sound, dance, breathe. Ask your inner child what they need. Okay. Now they're saying on to the reading, but I'm going to take a sip of water. So the very first card we had, I was going to say this earlier before we got the rituals. So I was going to just do like 2 or 3 cards, but then I kept, like I did 2, and then I saw the bottom of the deck message, and then I kept looking under the bottom of the deck, and it felt like a story. So we have Pluto, endings, and regeneration. Literally what the fuck we've been talking about. That guy's kind of hot. He has like a 6-pack. I feel like I'm getting, it's 12/12. I saw that earlier. I'm getting the message that like some of you need to like let fucking love in. And it's interesting because I mentioned the 6-pack. Like stop. This is going back to the body image thing. I feel like I probably was called to share that because someone else needed to hear that. Stop waiting, like I said earlier, to be perfect so that you can have the love or the business or the success or the money or the friends or whatever it is. Who cares if you don't have a 6-pack and the guy does? Who cares? That literally obviously is not going to apply to everybody, but that's like, you can use that as a metaphor. Then we have Cibation, purify, cleanse, and release, which is what we've been talking about. You might even want to add to the journaling ritual to just like write out everything you need to let go of. That was something I was going to talk about earlier and it didn't come to me. But I've been like redoing all the structures, routines, and rituals in my life and literally like burning everything down, blowing it up, rearranging, and letting go of the shit that feels fucking heavy. Because this Aries new moon, I keep wanting to say full moon, is also about following our fucking passion. Passion isn't in these things we think we should do and all these heavy things we put on our plate. Like I had to change up my whole morning routine, pretty much every fucking area of life. My movement, routine, just everything. So write that out. Like what are your shoulds? What is heavy? And let that shit go. I'm getting a vision of you burning that piece of paper up after you do that, which is totally a full moon ritual, but it applies to this. It doesn't have to just be full moon, but that's what I think of. Oh my god. Mars, drive, energy, and passion. Didn't even realize that was the next card. Mars rules Aries. So that is so perfect. These cards, by the way, were the advice cards. We have Black Moon, Lilith, and Aries. Lead your life. So just like I was saying earlier about my example with like wanting to get the fuck out of my hometown, and there's so many other things, fears that I had that came up to my friend, like leaving my cat behind if I went to Costa Rica, for example. But it's like, there's somewhere I was going with that. Hang on. Basically, I guess I was just talking about the fears and the things that hold us back from what we really want. But it's like, time to step out of victim mentality is what I'm getting. Because I was totally in victim mentality. Like, I can't, because the reason I felt like I was in victim mentality even more is because it took me until the end of the year last year to finally get a job. And I know everything happens for a reason, but that's why I was just so surrendered, where I was like, well, maybe it's going to take 10 years for me to move again. I know that's fucking dramatic, but that's what my mind My mind was playing tricks on me. So yeah, like get out of the victim mentality. Seeing if there's anything else. This woman is being held up by the masculine. So you know how I was talking about on the last 2 cards ago? Letting go of structures that don't support you. Put in structures that do support you. That's that masculine support. And like, it's like the masculine is lifting up the feminine. So put in structures and support that fucking light you up is what I'm getting. For example, I was really lit up by adding in doing yoga in my backyard. I did that for a week and then I got bored with it. So then, because I get bored with stuff easily, it's my Sagittarius rising. So then today I was like, ooh, I feel really excited to like do my little dance flow today. Monday, it was, ooh, I want to go to the beach. Well, that was like Sunday night. I want to go to the beach tomorrow. So like actually doing things that light you up, and again, letting go, like this is coming up again, letting go of like the heavy shoulds that you think you should do. Because this is taking me back to like my early manifestation course days where I always said manifestation, I think it's Tony Robbins that I learned this from, or maybe I'm combining things together. They say that it's 80% mindset, 20% action. I like to say that it's more than 80% action, and it's also like your mindset and your energy. I think it's like 10% action or less. Like, yes, we have to take aligned action. But the point I'm trying to make with that is your energy is most important. So if you're heavy and weighed down, doing all these things you think you should do or you have to do to get to success or manifest your goal, you're probably not going to get there. And if you do, it's not even going to be enjoyable because you didn't enjoy the way that you got there, which is literally what happened to me when I built my first business to 6 figures. And even my business I have now, when I first started it, I think within 6 months in, I was making like $5,000 a month or a little bit more. But I didn't like the way that I built it. And that's something I'm really moving through within my own business now. I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh, like your energy and the shoulds. And yeah, it's like the more fun that we fucking have, that is what is going to lead you to what it is that you really want. Okay, they're telling me move on to the next thing. I talk more about all this stuff in all my classes and courses. Okay, we have multiplication, your higher self. I had a dream the other night about higher self, and I feel like your higher self wants you to work with her, him, them, and like get the messages. I'm getting with this image that like there's multiple versions of you existing on multiple timelines, and you get to choose which one you want to experience. You may not think that you do, just kind of like me with the Costa Rica example, but you do. And it will, of course, all happen in divine timing. But like, trust your fucking self. Trust your intuition. Trust your higher self. I'm getting the message for somebody that like those messages from your higher self and your intuition, those are more important than even the messages I'm giving you. A coach, a healer, a best friend, a family member. Trust your fucking self, girl. I don't care how not logical it sounds. Actually, I didn't even talk about this in the video. I'll talk more about it when I talk about quitting social media. I'm going to focus more on YouTube. And I've said this before and actually went that route several times and then went back to focusing on Instagram over the last few years. But that's not really logical because I have 14,000 followers on Instagram. I think I have 500 or 400 here. I can't remember on YouTube. But YouTube lights me up. It's just I still love Instagram too. So I'm kind of going ahead to the social media episode. I'm just not going to use it as much as I used to. And I don't know what that looks like yet. But the point I'm trying to make is if you're doing something with that should energy again that's heavy, like that's not higher self guidance, bitch, is what I'm getting. Okay, they're telling me to wrap this up. Then we have Black Moon, Lilith, and Aquarius. Honor your individuality. Do it your own fucking way. And I'm being so drawn to the 11 on here, which makes me think of like inner union, divine union, blending your masculine and your feminine. I have a class that's up for purchase on my website about that as well with the activation. But like breaking up with the fucking rules again. And then that will lead to your death and rebirth. And allowing your light to shine. That one is Black Moon, Lilith, and Leo. Me. I feel like I probably said that weird. I don't do well with trendy sayings. I don't even know if that saying is trendy anymore. But like, the message I got with this card when I first pulled it earlier is like, the world needs you, whether you're an entrepreneur or not. The world needs your light to shine brighter and to let go, I've said this a million times, of the heavy shoulds and fucking rules that are holding you back and like weighing you down. Like, I'm literally getting a vision of someone sinking in quicksand that's like up to here, because it's like you're burying yourself in all this stuff. And we can do this out of like survival mode, which is what I realized like when I took a break from business a couple weeks ago, because I was in survival mode so much the last couple years. Like, I haven't been, because I got a job at the end of the year, but I've still been in that survival mode in so many ways. But it's like we can do that because we're so used to being in survival mode, is the point that I was trying to make with that. So sometimes you have to take a pause, take a step back, take a day off, a half day off, whatever, an hour off, whatever you can do with your life and your responsibilities, and like get off the hamster wheel and be like, no, and get yourself out of the quicksand. Because I don't want you to sink in that, bitch. I don't want you to sink in it. So final closing card from the Goddess of Love Tarot, I asked, what is manifesting for my beautiful audience listening to this? I'm going to say audience. Why did I say that? My beautiful friends listening to this video. And we have Witch of Pentacles. So, first of all, she looks like she's fucking feeling herself. She looks like she's on a magical unicorn. I think that's a unicorn. Yep, it's a unicorn. It has a horn. And when I looked at the guidebook, this is what's manifesting with this new moon in Aries for you. It talks about, where did it go? Well, it talks about rewilding, which is literally what we're talking about with all of this. Oh, here it is. The journaling question, you don't have to journal about this. This is just what the book says. How can I claim the word witch to further own the magic of my body, of nature, of love? Now, this is Goddess of Love and eroticism, so it doesn't have to be for that specific area of life. Take it as it resonates. But what I was just feeling is like, how can I claim the word witch to further own my magic and my fucking power? And that's actually probably an episode I'm going to be doing. I say probably because I get a million downloads and then sometimes the energy shifts and it doesn't make sense anymore to do it. But I got this download the other day. The word witch is holy. The word witch is so demonized. I'm getting ahead of myself with this potential future episode too. But it's like, a witch is just a woman fully in her fucking power. There's nothing evil about it. And so many of us have witch wounds, which is one thing I'm going to be talking about in Unhinged, on how to heal that. And we'll walk through it together. Yeah. And I'll talk more about this in the episode if I decide to do it. I'll definitely be talking about it in Unhinged. Like, I went to church with a coworker a few weeks ago. And like, I was raised Catholic. My angels are telling me to save it for another day. Anyway, I'm learning to blend my past religious beliefs with my last 10 years of spiritual beliefs. And the word witch can be a scary thing, especially if you have religious conditioning. It might not even be if you have religious conditioning. It's just the word is demonized. There's so much I want to say about this because, yeah, I got this funny message from someone on a dating app the other day, because I have specifically on my dating app about being a witch or witchy. There's so much I have to say about that. But my guides are telling me to wrap it up. Own your fucking witchy bitchiness. That is what's coming. And I feel like all these things that I said with all these other cards are what is going to help you get there, because the guidebook also talked about magic. And to me, magic is a life full of fun and getting rid of all the shoulds and the heavy shit. So, we're going to end it here, because this was going to be 10 minutes originally, and now it's 24, which is fine, but I can feel my energy dwindling. So, happy new moon in Aries. It's good to be here with you again. Let me know below how this landed with you, anything that you want to share, anything that resonates, anything about what you're going through right now. And stay tuned for more on Unhinged, a new offering I'm working on. And I'm glad I remember this right now. All of my classes and courses are on a very big sale, so they're all in my Divine Feminine portal, which is a vault of all my classes and courses. So I'll link that below, and I love you so much. If you want to be, what is the word, in the know about Unhinged, comment below or message me, DM me, whatever. Hit me up in the DMs and let me know. I love you. I love you. I love you. It's so good to be back here with you, my YouTube fam, podcast fam, whoever's listening to this. And big things are coming. That was a message I got when I first pulled the cards earlier, and it's coming back again. I feel like I get that message a lot, but yeah, I've been really feeling this intense feeling of heaven on earth, like in the physical 3D reality lately. Like when I went to the beach Monday, there was like dolphins playing, and like I found this like rainbow shell, and like the ocean just looked like really glittery. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but it was fucking epic. So okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'll see you in a new video very soon.